Punisher. We really appreciate this.
We're nothing but white blood cells, hunting the infection called crime, a sickness that sneaks in through the cracks, the way that Brussels sprouts sneak onto a plate of delicious macaroni and cheese. Sure, the city looks safe. Just push the Brussels sprouts to one side, right? Raw, no matter where you put them, their vile vegetable juices corrupt the whole plate. Oh. I'm out here to keep those stinking sprouts off the mac and cheese. Keep them from leaving the store in the first place.
Your van smelled like dirty laundry anyway!
So, a mere 4 years after this movie that, as we said, didn't really bomb, but just didn't really do it for critics, and the fans were kind of divided, although people do defend that movie to this day, we get another Punisher movie. Now, at first they were going to do a sequel, but that all just fell away, and we got basically kind of a reboot, I guess you would call this a reboot, starring Ray Stevenson, Dominic West, and directed by Lexi Alexander. Now, I gotta say, I really feel this movie was kind of ahead of its time in a lot of ways. We were cruising through the era that was the Dark Knight franchise. 2008 rolls around, bam, we are given the Dark Knight and Iron Man. Tough acts to follow. Gritty, serious movies grounded in reality, with a touch of the comic booky feel to it, of course, but then we get Punisher Warzone, which is a celebration of lunacy, over-the-top violence, hyper-stylized action scenes, just in terms of, just the look of this film is just bizarre. It's deliberately out there in terms of tone, in terms of humor. It is fun as fuck.
Yes.
I have not seen this movie in a good 5 years, and watching it again, we just went on a Punisher binge, right? I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I think I love this movie more now than when I did enjoy it back when I first saw it.
Yeah, nobody really knew what to make of it. Even I saw the trailers to this movie, and I was like, like it looked really generic. I was like, But then me and my buddy were bored, and we actually went to go see it in the theater. And we were just sitting there talking, didn't really care. The movie kind of started, and you know, the credits and everything was just going on. And me and my buddy was just talking about the last movie. We're like, oh man, that movie was so boring. Ugh, nothing going on. And then, you know, the movie Warzone was still playing on the screen, and then all of a sudden, this shit happens. Me and my friends' jaws dropped, okay? We were giddy. We were giddy. We were happy. We were stunned because we were not expecting that type of action and over-the-top violence at all. So we were like, shit, we just got our fucking money's worth. Let's just leave. We can go now. If the last movie ended with this movie's beginning, woo, I would really be forgiving that last movie just a little bit. But damn, holy shit.
We ended up getting a bit of a grindhouse feel. Again, this was not a film. I just don't think people were ready for it. This was not grounded in reality at all. I defy you to take this movie seriously on any level whatsoever. We are given the antithesis of what we got in John Travolta's trying to be super serial, I'm a villain, in Dominic West's batshit insane Jigsaw, and his equally ludicrous brother in Looney Bin Jim.
Yes.
Oh my god, these two on screen were miraculous.
Yes.
They were a gift from the gods of lunacy.
You look fantastic, brother.
It is so much fun watching these guys, and again, this is not... I've noticed a lot of the times that when brutality and extreme violence is mixed with humor, say for instance like in a Quentin Tarantino film, a lot of people don't know what to make of it. They have a really hard time justifying laughing at it. And I guess this is kind of a testament to how kind of twisted we might be with our sense of humor. I don't know. But this is the kind of just crazy ridiculousness that I love the hell out of this. I mean, this was a very deliberate choice by the filmmaker. Now, I know she has gone on record in stating that she really wished that she could have done a Marvel film under different circumstances because Lionsgate, this was before the days where Marvel had a proper hold on their characters. And different companies were coming in and they were doing whatever the hell they wanted to. And Punisher, unfortunately, was no exception. I've heard her make comments that she wanted something done a certain way and Marvel didn't really have any say-so. Lionsgate had the final say, and so she had to do things their way. So yeah, maybe a lot of things weren't necessarily the way she wanted them. But what we ended up with, for better or for worse, I love the hell out of it. I'm really sorry if it's not the product that Lexi really wanted. If she's not proud of it, I can understand, studio interference, that can really make or break it for a director. But I think what we got was just a jewel. I really recommend, if you haven't seen this movie in a couple of years, take a look at what we've got now. Take a look at the universe that Marvel and some of its side properties have helped to create and what we're allowed to accept now. We're allowed to accept Guardians of the Galaxy. We're allowed to accept these crazy madcap fantasies. We're allowed to accept Deadpool now. This I don't want to say is exactly like Deadpool, but
No.
It's in that same vein. You've got a really dark comedic undertone going on. I will say that the acting in this film is atrocious, but in the most beautiful of ways. You've got British people, most of the cast are British. You've got British people fighting their accents tooth and nail, trying to pull their accents across the finish line.
You Krispy Kreme motherfuckers!
People that are trying to speak American that I'm just sitting there going, please stop, but please keep going.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that a lot of people, when they first saw this movie, were just like, this looks like shit. Or like, this looks like shit. This sounds like shit. This is shit. Like, they just looked at it and watched 5 minutes of it, and they were just like, man, this looks like a fucking crappy, low-budget B movie, But see, that's the thing, was that Lexi, the director, did certain things on purpose because it was such an over-the-top concept anyway, with a guy with a big, huge white skull on his chest going around just destroying and murdering everyone. It was so over the top, she was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to make my movie over the top the best I can, and she did it on purpose for the Grindhouse audience, for the midnight crowd.
So the question is, how did Ray Stevenson's Punisher fare up against the other two? Well, not too bad.
No.
Now here's the thing. I find it very interesting that each Punisher is distinctly different in each movie that we've gotten. You've got flu, crazy Dolph Lundgren. You've got boring, poorly underutilized Thomas Jane, who's just depressed and a drunk, and that's about it. And then you've got Ray Stevenson's Punisher, who is at times a little bit crazy. I love how apathetic he can be when it comes to the violence. Now, my only problem with the portrayal that we got in this film was the writers deciding to humanize him, which wasn't too bad until we got the trope of, oh, well, this is my last mission. I have a guilty conscience. I killed this little girl's daddy on accident, and I feel terrible now. So this is the last time I'm doing this microchip. Really, it's the last time.
Yeah, sure.
We don't need the old card where, okay, this is the last time I'm doing this. I don't want to be who I am anymore. We've gotten it with Spider-Man. We've gotten it with Batman. We've gotten it with Spider-Man again. We don't need it. We don't need it from the Punisher. I want to see a truly crazy Punisher that is efficient and smart and scary. And I think we've gotten little tidbits throughout, but never all in the same package. So in terms of the whole package, no, we do not get that with Ray Stevenson's Punisher. I think it's kind of a hit and miss. I didn't mind that he had the conscience, but what I did kind of mind was that when he wasn't being cold and brutally violent, he looked like he needed a Xanax or something. He looked so depressed. I wanted to give him a hug and go, oh, Frank, it's okay. You're going to be okay. You get those bad guys, Frank. You're going to get them.
But other than that, when it was time for him to be a badass, he was a fucking convincing badass. So again, action movie junkies that love over-the-top, crazy, insane, batshit crazy violence. Okay? This is the movie. Alright? This is the movie to put in your collection. Now, those of you out there that watched a scene like this... and you were like, that just looks stupid. That was dumb. This is not the movie for you, okay? But me and everybody else was in the theater. We were in shock, okay? We were stunned that just came out of nowhere and just blew up the guy. We were in the theater laughing. First in shock, then laughter, and this entertainment, okay? That's what we want to see. Punisher punches through a guy's head. It's fucking awesome! And it's a thing of beauty, yes! And this scene right here I'm about to show you pretty much sums up what the Punisher should be.
Put your hands behind your back. Yes, more please!
Sadly, this movie did not even come close to making back its budget.
Super bomb.
It was almost the dread of its time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't even think this movie to this day has found its audience. I love the hell out of it, and come on, with a kill count of 100. Come on! So, what have we had up until this point? We had the sickly, overly large Dolph Lundgren. We've had the monotone Thomas Jane. And we've had the half badass but half depressed Ray Stevenson. But we had a thoroughly enjoyable film. So at this point, we're thinking we gotta give our favorite Punisher to Mr. Stevenson. And then something happened in 2012. We were given a fan film directed by Phil Joanou and starring Ron Perlman, and in a surprising do-over, Thomas Jane, reprising his role as the Punisher in Punisher Dirty Laundry. Now, I gotta admit, when you first showed this to me, I was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that being was because I've never had anything against Thomas Jane. I felt, like I said, that he was a perfectly suitable actor for the role, and it was a damn shame because he initially turned down the role of Punisher back in 2004, but when he found out who the character was and what kind of movie they were going to be making, he quickly started grabbing all these issues, and he became a fan. He almost was like Hugh Jackman, becoming a fan of the Wolverine after playing him and wanting to continue the series for the fans, genuinely loving the character he was portraying. And that's what happened with Thomas Jane. He became a fan of the Punisher. He believed in the Punisher. He wanted to make more movies for the fans, and it just fell through. So you cut to several years later, and we're given this fan film, and damn it, we could have had this back in 2004 if we had had the balls to make a movie like this. This was serious as fuck, gritty as fuck, brutal as fuck, violent as fuck.
And it's really sad. It is really sad because in this fucking 10-minute short, they got everything right.
The tone was perfect. The setup was flawless. The delivery, everything about this was just so gruesome and beautiful. And the dialogue between Thomas Jane and Ron Perlman when they're in the liquor store together before Frank decides to go out and help these people who are being terrorized by these thugs. It's fantastic! And what kills again is that you don't even know who this character is at first. You have no idea that he is the Punisher. He looks, with no words, he looks like a man who has been through shit. He's seen the brutality of the world and he's just given up on everything. He doesn't even care to do anything anymore. And you can see it all just starting to get to him. You see this woman, and she gets taken out by this thug, and she's getting the shit beat out of her, probably more. You see this kid who's getting harassed, and he's getting the shit beat out of him, and he's seeing all of this, and he at first does nothing.
While doing his laundry.
And you can tell, again, without dialogue, that it's getting to him. Every second that passes by, he's just tormented. God damn it, do I really want to do this? Why am I even thinking? Damn it, what? Oh, fuck, you can just see it getting to him. And then the dialogue with Perlman is what finally just, he's like, fuck it. And he goes out, and he does his thing, and...
Oh, and it's fucking brilliant, okay? He destroys, okay? Thomas Jane destroys these thugs. Badly, brutally, really violently. He just destroys and kicks the shit out of these thugs. Bone-breaking, heads blowing up, okay? There's more violence in this 10-minute short than the whole fucking bullshit movie that came out in 2004. But the character, we saw the Punisher. We finally, it took this fucking long, but we finally seen the Punisher in Thomas Jane.
So after this bout with violent pornography, we are treated to the final moments of the short where Thomas Jane is putting his laundry back into the van, and the kid runs up to him and says, "Hey mister, you forgot this," and he said, "Keep it, there's a bullet hole in it anyway." Drives away, and the kid unfolds it, and it's the Punisher shirt.
Brilliant. So our final verdict for the best, most entertaining Punisher film and most rewatchable Punisher movie is definitely Punisher Warzone.
And once again proving that less is more when it comes to dialogue, and you do not always have to bombard us with expository bullshit. You can let an actor emote and show us what he is thinking through the scenes that he is witnessing and through his own ability to convey, because he is an actor and that is what he does. Thomas Jane, you fucking nailed it as the Punisher in Punisher Dirty Laundry. And as of right now, good job, man. You're the best.
So we leave you with that. Let us know in the comments below who your favorite Punisher is, or which movie is your favorite. Be sure to check out the second season of the awesome badass show that is Daredevil on Netflix, and we highly anticipate and await Jon Bernthal's take on the Punisher, and I have a really good feeling he's gonna kill it, he's gonna knock it out of the park, and he may be the best Punisher yet.
Guess who's Netflix binging? We're gonna be Netflix binging. We ain't gonna leave the house because we are hopeless, pathetic.
We thank you all for watching. You guys rock. We'll see you next time.